arm balance that you'll find if you're taking practice in the Ashtanga method or system or style of yoga. Anyways, it is quite challenging because it is the arm balance that comes after already a tiring place known as Navasana, the sits bone balance that also allows you to lift up your bandhas, which we did the tutorial on the last time. If you missed out on that, check out perhaps the post before this. You might be able to find that there. So Bhujapidasana is shoulder pressing, right? So pressing onto your shoulder to pin it down and to maintain its integrity and its strength. And what delivers all that is the Tristana. And that is the elements of your breath, your bandhas, and your drishti. Oftentimes we collapse in that pose because one of those elements is unlit. So we want to make sure that those three areas, including your strength, of course, and the ability of your practice conditions, right, of your body, ignites and sparks all those three to remain lit. That means don't lose its integrity, don't lose the entire energy of the three. The drishti is quite important as you first jump into the pose. And then second, the bandhas is there, the pulling up of all the Uddiyana Bandha, Mula Bandha, and Jala Bandha. And then the breath, the powerful miracle strength of the breath. The breath will relax you and keep you holding the pose to enjoy. Remember too that asana means a seat, to find a place of relaxation within the pose. So, I don't know, let's try it. So I'm going to show you some techniques of what I use to make myself stronger and stronger with that pose. It is called Bhujapidasana arm balance, so therefore you want to make some time to strengthen your arm balance, so because that's what you're going to need. So one of the few things when I first started this pose, I know that I was growing with my inner strength. We can be physically strong on the outside, but I'm going to tell you from the get-go that you need the inner strength for yoga. You can't just depend on how your bulk and your mass and you're strong on the outside with your physicality, like your muscles and all that. Yoga is beyond the external forces of our body. It's really truly what's internal. And so I think that if you begin to realign your focus and look inward instead of external or outside, I think you will enjoy that you can deliver your strength from within. And this is the true practice of yoga. It's everything from within. Okay? So, I'm going to show you a simple frog hop. I call it a frog hop because I think it looks like a frog when I watch it. And then second, I'm going to use my own original strength to show you how to practice with your hands and the correct positioning of your wrist aligned to your shoulders and your hips. And then I'm going to use my Manduka practice block. I love these blocks to again build strength. You don't always have to practice with props, but there are times in our lives that if we have time for extra play time, but I call those play research. I really don't like the word playtime, but they found that that's useful. But research time, blocks are great, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and show you some things that I do. So first of all, you already know that you are coming from Navasana, right? So you are coming from this position like that, right? You're sitting up. We are already opening up our ischium right here, our pelvis, our hinges, our hip sockets, and our flexors. So the reason for that being the prelude to Bhuja is to help prepare the body now for Bhuja, the Navasana. And that's why you also had this lift, right? In your Navasana. Some of you are rocking in Navasana, right? Because it's going to prepare you to lift at some point when you got to Bhuja, right? So the nice way of seeing this whole yoga practice, ashtangayoga, is it's intelligently designed to prepare our body like on and off the mat to the next process, the next stages, the next path that's to come. Okay, so think about it that way. So anyways, like I said, you're in Navasana. You jumped back in Navasana, and now you're about a downward dog, and you're ready to jump in around your arms. So one or two things that you can do to prep yourself is take a squat, and my feet right now is flat, tiptoe and lunge like that. And then rise, extending your leg. Keep your hands nice and engaged. I have a little cupping that's happening in my hand. And then again, extend. Lunge a little bit lower and maybe stay here and stretch away for a moment. I am on the ball of my toes right here, more than the top of my feet, so I am there. And then again, just a little bit in height. Don't make it so high now. Stay a little low. And then again, squat. It's going to feel like it's burning, squat. But it's okay to be here. Squat, we're mobilizing the knee joints now. And then we're going to get ready to hop around. If you could sit in your goddess, you can go by the wall too. You want, right now my shoulders is on top of my knees. I want to be able to move the shoulders inside the knees and firmly just sit up. The longer you could stay here, you can even hold your mat. You're going to work on extending your chest bone, which is what you're going to need to take your Bhujapidasana down and to also take your Bhujapidasana back up to exit the pose. So you could sit holding your mat, you could sit holding here. This is also good for Bhujapidasana later on. There's a lot of ways that this particular technique right here helps. Now you can have a longer sense of endurance when you're in the pose or when you're being assisted or being worked with on the pose, okay? So coming back out, I love the feeling of that, by the way, it's so good for you. We're gonna learn to hop. My tailbone's high right now, and we're gonna sink it down just a little bit, and maybe you're just hopping to the back of your hands and back. Hopping to the back of your hands and back. Maybe you're gonna hop even further to the side of your hands and back. Maybe hop again to the side of your hands. Ooh, we got deeper, back. And I'm lunging deeper now. Ooh, we got further and back. And maybe we can even get in front, right there. So, most of the time, people are doing this with their butt once they get around. Leave your butt at midline, so you're not working so hard to expend your energy somewhere else, and find a way to sit at the base of your back arms, creating a shelf or a chair with your elbow and the back of your triceps. Your hand is firm and you're just here. Just embrace the breathing here. Don't be in a hurry to cross the feet together, just stay here. Okay? To lift up, don't pick up the butt this high. Just pick up halfway. Walk the feet around and walk it back. So you're preparing step by step to exactly how the exit will be when you finally polish your posture. Okay, so let's try it again. Ready? So here we go. We're going to do it together. We're going to do for 5, okay? So don't give up on you. We're going to hop. Drop the butt down a little and squat. Hop. 1. Jump back. 2. Jump back. 3. Jump back. 4. Jump back. And here's 5. Hold and sit on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the next step is, I'm going to face you. When you jumped there, you had your hands here, and you had your hands here. And this is what it looked like in the front. You want to be able now to turn to the outer corner of your foot, the outer corner. So you're facing the inner soles of your feet towards each other so that soon they can tap like that. Keep pinning the shoulders because it's Pindasana, right? Bhujapidasana. And option 1, relax here. Option 2, draw down a little. Option 3, surrender, just fold down. When you're coming up, you want to, this is drishti now, and sternum extends out. And that way later, you can lift up and flow the feet to shoot you back. Okay? So you want to maintain all that strength at that moment. It's hard. So that is it for somebody that's beginning. That's an option without the block. I will show you some more. Now let's talk about people that are growing and they can wrap around and they can put their feet together and they can lift, but they can't descend down because they're afraid or it's just so hard. And you know, it's still a struggle, right? Because it's the way it is. So let's talk about that. So you've jumped around, right? I'm going to use it this way so you can see me. I'm going to work my way through my arms. And you're just walking or floating back. You're here now. I'm going to find the sit on my chest. I want to curl to pin my shoulder and curl to pin my shoulder. And smile through it. 1, just staying here. 2, relax. 3, now you're going to slowly round this way or keep your chin out. You're going to kind of bend your elbows and just melt. And then lift up. And release and float back. Don't try to attempt to come down so fast if you're still working with your wrist and your shoulder strength, because all you're going to do is hurt yourself and then you'll never be able to do it tomorrow to get better. So find your stages to create an assignment for yourself to, today is just going to be this, and tomorrow, what I learned yesterday, add this, then the next day, what I learned the day before and yesterday and today, add that. So you puzzle it through and you have mastery, understanding, and also stress-free or injury-free hands, arms, and body and mind, okay? So let's try it again. Coming through again, here we go. And now we're gonna try, so I'm gonna make room for my face when I come down. We're gonna hop in, right? Get your shoulders into there. And again, keep your sternum and my drishti already here. My neck is a little higher than normal. And float the feet. I'm gonna curl, sliding down just a little bit, sliding down, and dip the head down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming up, you're gonna make your nose kind of pivot and keep this strong, and then you can work your way to come around and then rest, sit down. If your hand is burning, get back on your knees for a moment and reverse your wrist, and then sit on your heel, and then move it to your side. This is the counter pose for a tired metacarpal and carpal. This is the carpal, metacarpal. That's why it's called carpal tunnel. So then you can ease the pain on that, okay? So that's very slow motion there. Now remember, not all of us will be that way. We're gonna go boom, dive down. There is a Bhujapidasana that comes right after that, and I'm not really concerned about that. In this tutorial, I'll demonstrate it later, but this tutorial is more like how to wrap around and just make your way down to Bhuja, okay? So Bhuja, some places will have you go like this with your chin and your nose. Some places will have your head tucked in. To rise up, I'm sliding to the tip of my nose and my chin and allowing this position so that I can float my feet back to Bakasana and exit the pose, okay? So we try that again. This time I'm going to face it this way. I'm going to jump around normally, and then I might try jumping around without touching the floor, just for some of you that already have that practice, okay? We're going to go slow motion. We're not going to go fast, so that way you can follow along. Squat your knees slowly, and then hop. Good. Reposition your shoulders. If you have to move your hands back, please do so. Look up with your sternum, engage your stomach, pull. Work through one feet at a time and create height. Slowly, you're going to drop your head or your chin and remain calm. Little by little, you're going to kind of pike up. You're going to walk 1 foot back and eventually shoot back to your Bakasana.